Very much, and welcome once again to Continental Championship Wrestling, and we indeed have an interesting hour in store for you. We're going to be seeing a six-man tag team match before the hour is over. Also, I'm going to have Doug Furnace with me as my guest commentator as we watch the Dirty White Boy in action. And the Bullet will be joining me as we see Dirty Dutch Mantell in action. And, well, we've got some other great matches upcoming. I know it's going to be an interesting hour, but right now, we have our first match upcoming. That is indeed a six-man tag team event. So let's turn it to the ring and our ring announcer, Cat Collins.
Thank you, Gordon. This first match will be one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, the Wild Bunch. From New Zealand, the Lord of the Sheep Herders, Lord Jonathan Boyd. With his team partner from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the Golden Boy, Mike Golden, and from Texas, the Doctor, Tom Prichard. And their opponents, ladies and gentlemen, at a combined weight of 460 pounds, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, the Midnight Rockers, and their partner, Danny Davis, the Nightmare.
Boyd moving out against the Midnight Rockers and Rollers and the Nightmare Danny Davis. Six-man tag team match. Tag team rules will be observed. We're coming to you directly from the Birmingham, Alabama State Fairgrounds Coliseum. A beautiful building. If you've never been here, fantastic seating. Every seat in the house is basically a good seat. There's no question about that. Tom Prichard and Jonathan Boyd having a bit of a problem over that flag of New Zealand. Well, there's been some sort of a long-running, strange bit of animosity between these two, but apparently it has been solved and it is cured now. And so Prichard saying, all right, so you saluted your flag. Now let's get on with business. And business right now is indeed this six-man tag team match. All right, let's see what happens next now. Prichard moving out. Moving out against Shawn Michaels, and as Shawn Michaels, an Irish whip into the far ropes. In the far corner. This time Marty Jannetty was in there, broke it up, and Shawn Michaels comes back with a boot to the midsection in Tom Prichard's girth. Reversal and Jonathan Boyd, but he catches it in the middle. So the situation with Jonathan Boyd and Tom Prichard becomes a little bit more strained, if you will. Prichard explaining, hey, wait a minute, man, that was not my fault. And I think that's being resolved okay. Yeah, it's resolved, and I thought it would be. Okay. Jonathan Boyd moves out, and it is Tom Prichard getting set to move against, apparently, Shawn Michaels. They lock up collar and elbow. Full arm drag and twist tag is made. Jonathan Boyd moves in. Well, Boyd moves back out again. So it looks like these problems may be compounding themselves slightly. All right, Boyd moves back into the ring now, and he is the legal man in, technically. And it's Boyd wasting no time now, exploding with a series of rights and lefts that drops Shawn Michaels to the canvas. Drops him to one knee, staggers him again. Boyd now makes the tag with Tom Prichard. Prichard moves in. Shawn Michaels fires back. Prichard now taking the brunt of this attack. Off the rope, Shawn Michaels catches him very nicely. Prichard gets over, makes the tag with Mike Golden. Golden moves into the ring, but he's too smart a veteran to just go recklessly charging in there. Watches himself carefully. Collar and elbow. Golden caught now. Well, it's not a front nor a side headlock. It's sort of a rear headlock, if you will, or a head-on headlock. I suppose that's the best way to describe that particular hold. Off the ropes. Tag is made. Jannetty tags up. Golden misses with a wild right hand. Michaels has him up. Atomic knee drop, and Jannetty was right in there. Snapmare that takes Golden to the canvas. A rear chin lock now by Marty Jannetty. A lot of people have told me that Jannetty is indeed an outstanding wrestler, and all I can say about that is, indeed he is. Danny Davis, the Nightmare Danny Davis in there now. Golden and Prichard and Boyd firing away, but Danny Davis fires his way back out of it. Danny Davis battling away. Well, we've got a wild melee going on now. We've got all 6 of them in the ring at one time. Got one in the sleeper hold. And Jonathan Boyd catches Shawn Michaels. Meanwhile, Davis outside the ring. He's got some problems. Shawn Michaels caught here. Jonathan Boyd loading up something. Crashes down. Catches Prichard instead. Michaels ducked to one side. And it is Prichard in trouble. Prichard rolling to the apron. Prichard outside of the ring. Jonathan Boyd outside the ring. A rolling reverse from the corner. Who can tell who's who, however? And we've got a wild situation going on here as the match continues. Meanwhile, Jonathan Boyd is outside the ring. Tom Prichard is outside the ring. And hold on a second. An argument now between Jonathan Boyd and Tom Prichard. An argument between the two of them. Well, an argument here, I'll tell you what, we're going to have to cut away and see if we can get some order restored here. Let's see if we can get some order restored. We'll be back. We'll be back after we get this situation ironed out.
She don't ever stop, around the clock. She keeps rocking, burning down.
Well, neither team has been able to score a pinfall or a submission hold while we were away. However, Tommy Prichard is covered now in crimson, no question about that. He received a pretty bad laceration, but he's back in there battling. Prichard is a young man with a lot of intestinal fortitude, certainly no question about that. Out against Marty Jannetty right now, one of the Midnight Rockers and Rollers. Prichard brings him up, full body slam. Crashes down with that elbow, but Jannetty was out of the way. A snap mare by Jannetty, a 2 count on the part of Roy George, the referee. Prichard slipped away from it, got that shoulder off the mat. Irish whip, beautiful rolling reverse. Let's see if he gets the... No, sir. Thought he had the pinfall, but he didn't. The Nightmare, Danny Davis, moves in against Prichard, and Davis would like a whole bunch of this man if he can get it. No, sir. Once again, Prichard powers out. Full body slam, and on that arm, pressed behind his back. Prichard's got some problems. He reaches out with that injured arm, however, trying to make the tag. Set him up, vertical souffle. Lateral press once again. And again, Shawn Michaels unable to get the pinfall on this very, very gutty Tom Prichard. Danny Davis moves in. Davis catches him. Mule kick coming off the ropes. Davis fired away. Leapfrog by Davis catches him. Davis moves in. No, sir. We've got a problem here, and all of a sudden, once again, we've got all 6 of them in the ring. And Jonathan Boyd gets rid of one man. Catches, wait a second now. Danny Davis hurt a lot. Boyd tripping over the back of Tom Prichard. Boyd trips over the back of Tom Prichard. Carried by the Midnight Rockers and Rollers, and so Boyd ends up getting pinned. Boyd is pinned. And, no, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Boyd is now apparently blaming Prichard for what happened. Boyd backing Prichard away. Now Prichard trying to explain it. Boyd is more than somewhat upset. Here's a man who is... All right, Boyd complaining. And that's pretty obvious. Boyd complaining about the fact that it was Prichard's fault that he got pinned. And... Tommy Prichard. And Boyd now continues to vent his anger. Boyd. And now Golden in there, and Golden is not being much of an intercessionist at this point in time. Wait a minute. Prichard is... That's pretty obvious. Prichard is telling him to whatever. And now Prichard is saying, all right, let's forget about it. Boyd took a wild swing at Prichard. Prichard backing away. And Boyd swings again. Prichard back and scores. And now Prichard pounding away at the head of Jonathan Boyd. Mike Golden catching him from behind. They've got Prichard in trouble here. They've got Prichard in trouble. Prichard in a lot of trouble now. They've double teamed him. Prichard caught again and again by Mike Golden. Jonathan Boyd keeping those arms trapped. Prichard catches him. He's caught once again by Mike Golden. Prichard down. And Prichard in a lot of trouble. And that wound on his forehead has certainly been opened up again, and very, very widely so, I might add. Now what are they doing? Now, wait a minute. Now, just hold on a second. Prichard trying gamely to get back to his feet, and Boyd is right there. Boyd, a headbutt, another headbutt, and Prichard, who has taken a tremendous amount of punishment here, is now taking repeated punishment from Sir Jonathan Boyd, and Boyd now. Oh, he's setting him for a pile driver. Oh, brother, that is absolutely despicable. That is despicable. The referee has been knocked to one side, and they continue to punish Tom Prichard. I'll tell you what, something else happened earlier this week that I think deserves a bit of comment, if I may. I had an opportunity to witness a signing of a contract. There is indeed a new Tennessee stud, and I'm referring, of course, to Robert Fuller. Now, while this action is going on in the ring, I think I'd like to get away from this. Tom Prichard is a man who has been pretty badly destroyed, in my opinion. But there was a signing that took place this week.
Well, we're gathered here under a most unusual circumstance. I would say that the original Tennessee stud no longer exists because there is a new Tennessee stud, and he's obviously fulfilling his dream of having a stable.
That's right, Gordon. As you see right here in front of me, I have 4 copies of a contract I'm sure that you've read, and you're well familiar with the fact that being that the Tennessee stud vacated that position as the Tennessee stud, I'm talking about my brother, Slim Jim Ron Fuller, ran back to the islands that left the spot for the man right here in the hot box in the middle of the heat. The new Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller, as you will see, it's very clear right here on this piece of paper, Gordon, that I am organizing a new company. That does not mean I am the boss. I will be the president, and that's by election, because all of these gentlemen had agreed that the Tennessee stud would still be the president of this company we're starting out here, that this company is organized so that we may be able to get together the finest crop of champions ever put together anywhere in the world. The Continental tag belt you see right here, the Continental heavyweight champion, Wendell Cooley, and also the Southeastern heavyweight champion, Dutch Mantell, and we will now be forming a company that I would say, Gordon, being if you put together the size, the possibilities of these guys as already being champions, what they can win in the future, because this is the prettiest bunch of people I have ever seen put together in one group, that I don't think that there's ever been a contract of such importance ever signed in the history of the wrestling profession. Gordon, what would you say?
Well, I would certainly have to agree with the magnitude of what you're doing. I'm not saying that I can particularly agree with the philosophy behind it, but nonetheless, if you're ready to sign this sort of thing, I would assume that all of you gentlemen are correct.
That's right. Now, you notice that we have Ronnie West here for the company as a witness. Gordon, we'd like very much if you'd witness this. Also, our first signing will be my partner, the Continental tag champ right here. We're talking about Jimmy Golden. Jimmy, put it right there, baby. Doesn't he write nice, Gordon? He really writes nice.
I'd just like to say that this is one of the finest moments in my life in the past 10 years. Signing up with a fine group of fellas. We're all champions here, and the new Tennessee stud is running a great organization. His brother Ron Fuller, his organization was trash, but this one's working out just great.
There's going to be more money in this thing, Jimmy, than you can ever imagine. You're signing into a big money ball playing contract right here, and we're going to see that that stands. Ron West, would you second that right there? And Gordon Crowley, if you would, please, sir.
Well, sir, I don't want to sign until I've got, I assume that these other two are going to sign. Is that correct?
That's right. I have other contracts here. I'd appreciate,
all right, if you want me to stick it
if you would, please, because I'd like to, for all of this to be nice and legal, because this is the movement in professional wrestling right here for the future. This is the future here. This is the organization to make things happen past today. Dutch Mantell?
Yes, sir. I want to say one thing, you know, just because certain members of your family act like chickens and want to run off to the Cayman Islands or whatever and won't stick with the task at hand, I'm glad that you took it up, and I'd be glad to put my name to this. Excuse me, Mr. A lot of people around here trying to possess us, but they cannot possess us because we're one unit and we're all together. And I'd just like to put my name right here.
I love
Hear me,
you,
Gordon?
I love you,
D-U-T-C-H M-A-N-T. That's the way you spell my name. E-L.
That
That's it,
autograph
baby,
right
right there.
there.
All right.
That autograph right there, Mr. Ronnie West, is going to make that man more money than he's ever imagined in his life, Gordon Soley. It's going to work out terrific. Okay, Wendell Cooley. Two of them right here.
Just say I'm glad to be here, Robert. Or the new Tennessee stud, I should say, and I'll go ahead and put my John Hancock right here. You know, because I want to say one thing, I am more happier than I am today because I'm able to wear the finest clothes, eat the finest foods, and stay at the finest plush hotels there is, and we're all champions, and we're all going to stay champions.
And you ain't got half your money yet, man.
No,
you
not even half of it. I can't wait to see how much money you're going to make me, Robert.
You're going to be terrific.
Am I looking good or
Mr.
what?
West.
Thank you.
You're looking great, Wendell. I tell you what, Gordon Soley, and you will have to agree that this is the most beautiful organization ever put together. There's no way you can dispute that. That I'm sure you've been around wrestling all of your life and you know about it, but now you know about pretty because you signed a contract with some of the prettiest stuff right there that's ever walked down the pipe. And then the last but not least.
All right.
Tennessee's stud.
Well,
Ronnie West.
one would assume by what we've seen in the last 5 or 6 minutes is perhaps one of the most unusual transitions in wrestling history when
Thank you, sir.
I can only go back to the days of, I guess it was King George when
Let's all have a
there
toast.
was an abdication of the throne. And we have seen here an abdication of the throne with the original Tennessee stud, the Tennessee stud.
Yeah.
We now have
there
a
ain't
new
no more
one.
Tennessee stud. There's
That's
a new
right.
Tennessee stud on the block.
As we have cleared up before, that my brother Ron Fuller, for years and years, and he was calling himself the Tennessee
Pop
stud,
that thing, Jimmy.
that the people have come to me now and that they have asked that I represent that name of Tennessee for the state of Tennessee, the biggest, the toughest, the baddest, and the greatest organization ever put together in professional wrestling. Let's get these things up, gentlemen. We're going to toast the finest
Have a drink there,
champagne.
You too, Ronnie West. Come on, pour it down.
Gordon Soley.
Well,
We're going to have a toast here, Gordon. This is going to be terrific.
all right.
To the finest organization ever put together in professional wrestling, gentlemen, let's knock 'em dead.
And to those of you who know where I'm coming from, to Wally Simpson.
That's it.
No question about the fact that Jonathan Boyd was pinned, sir.
You know, I'm so sick and tired every time we went up and down the road. Prichard was always arguing with Jonathan's decisions. Well, I'll tell you what, Prichard, take a good look, baby. Because guess who's carrying the flag now, baby? Mike Golden. That's right. Hey, Prichard, I tried to make you into a champion. Now I'm going to make you into hamburger. Every time you get in that ring, you're going to look across at Mike Golden or myself. You have been disqualified from the Wild Bunch. You are no longer one of us. You are, from now on, just Yankee meat dust for us to beat.
Well, that's an interesting comment coming from these groups. In other words, you're severing all ties with Tom Prichard.
That's it, and I'll tell you what, Doc, anywhere I go.
Thank you very much. We've got a word, and then we'll hear from Cat Collins and Tom Prichard.
Hey, I don't understand what the problem is here, man. I tried to please you here. I tried to please you going up and down the road. I tried to listen to everything you had to say, Jonathan. But let me tell you one thing. I may be a hippie, smart aleck. I may be liking rock and roll music. But I'll tell you one thing I am. Besides being downright tough, Mr. Sheep Herder, I am American bred and American made all the way, and I'm after you.
You heard it from Tom Prichard. We'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, our next match of the evening, one fall, a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first at 248 pounds, Chris Furtz. And his opponent is from Tennessee, 240 pounds, the Dirty White Boy.
Here at the podium now is the man who I consider the world's strongest man, Doug Furnace. And Doug, and I don't know if we can get a shot of him or not, but the Dirty White Boy wasting no time on Chris Hurt. Doug has a black patch over his left eye as a result of what happened last week. And Doug, amidst all of these problems, right now you're the #1 man as King of the Thunderdome.
Well, yes, sir. It's been a very tough competition, and I've been lucky enough to win a couple of them. And I know that big day's coming up when we have a chance to go for the 100 grand, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, that's going to be a tough one indeed, because there'll be 4 poles suspended from the ring posts. And let's get back to the ring and the action here as the Dirty White Boy, who is another one of the top contenders, and certainly a man that I'm sure you'd like to settle the score with.
That's right. We've got a score to settle, and it's not going to be today, and it's not going to be next week, because I won't be able to take this patch off for at least another week, the doctor said. But I'm going to have my chance in the ring with the White Boy, and it's going to be due paying time.
Well, I can certainly understand that. Right now, the Dirty White Boy very much in charge of the situation against Chris Hurt. And this match, 1 fall, of course, and right now the Dirty White Boy is leading the league, if you will, and drives a knee into the upper chest of Chris Hurt. This patch on your eye, of course, Doug, was a result of something that appeared to be ink or some sort of indelible fluid that he threw that doggone near gave you some real serious problems.
They did. They said I was real lucky that it didn't burn the retina completely up, but that there was a good chance that I'd get all the use of my right eyebrow, in my left eyebrow.
Let's certainly hope so. There you see the Dirty White Boy coming off the ropes, using that lariat very effectively, scoring the pinfall, and we'll be back. Well, Doug, as we said earlier, of course, you're one of the top men in the Thunderdome matches.
Yes, sir. They've been very tough matches, and I've been lucky enough to come out on top in a couple of them, and you know, everybody just keeps chugging along till we get down to the end and have a chance for that 100 grand.
And, of course, some of the men you're looking for obviously would have to be the Dirty White Boy and others.
I'll tell you what, that's the first stinking guy I look for when I hit the ring, and I've been going after him ever since it started, the things he's done to me, and you know, then there's everybody else. There's the Fullers, Golden, all the big guys are there. It's just a chance you got to suck it up and hope you can get them out.
All right, there you have it, the comments from Doug Furnace. We're going to take a minute out right now, then we'll come back with Cat Collins and his interview. Continental Championship Wrestling coming your way in Panama City at the Marina Civic Center, Saturday night, September 19th. Match time is 8 p.m., and there will be a Continental Heavyweight Championship match. The Nightmare Danny Davis facing Hot Property Wildcat Wendell Cooley. In a special challenge tag match, it'll be the Midnight Rockers and Rollers against Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden. In a Southeastern title match, the Bullet takes on Dirty Dutch Mantell. Doug Furnace goes up against the Dirty White Boy in a grudge match. It will be Tom Prichard against Mike Golden. Johnny Rich takes on Sir Jonathan Boyd. All of this action will take place in Panama City at the Marina Civic Center Saturday night, September 19th. Match time is 8 p.m. Remember, the Continental Heavyweight Championship goes on the line. The Nightmare Danny Davis going up against Hot Property Wildcat Wendell Cooley. In a special challenge tag team match, the Midnight Rockers and Rollers face Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden. We'll see you in Panama City.
With me right now is the Dirty White Boy, definitely after Doug Furnace and the Tennessee Heavyweight Championship.
That's correct. You know, everybody knows. I make no bones about it. I am from the great state of Tennessee, and everybody knows for a fact that Doug Furnace is not from Tennessee. Now, boy, you got to be dumber than a coal bucket, because I proved to you last week, and just in case it didn't get through that thick skull of yours, you go ask your eye doctor how bad that the Dirty White Boy is, baby, because any time and any place that you want to crawl in the ring with a man like me, hey,
the reputation speaks for itself. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, Furtz, if you want to, boy, if you've got enough guts, you step in the ring with the white boy, and I'll show you exactly what'll happen.
And we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, our next event, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first, weighing in at 210 pounds, Gene Miller. And his opponent from the state of Texas, the Southeastern heavyweight champion, ladies and gentlemen, Dirty Dutch Mantell.
That obviously Mantell has become an increasingly dangerous force in the Continental area.
Well, he certainly is, Gordon, and he seems to be on my back pretty regularly, and I just wanted to come out here and comment this match, and I was going to comment on some wrestling moves, but I see so far he hasn't made any. He's punched, gouged, and kicked, and has yet to even get a headlock. But I want to say this to you, Gordon, and everybody listening, that I know how to punch and gouge with the best of them. If I have to, I'll fight fire with fire, and being an old fireman, I know exactly how to do that.
Well, that's very, very true. I know that. And, of course, with all of the background and training you've had, I can certainly see where you come by it very legitimately. Right now, Dutch Mantell down across those pectoralis majors, and he scores a 3 count.
He certainly did. He punished that man severely, and he took it a little further than he should have. I believe he could have beat the man about 5 moves ago, but he wanted to punish him and increase his reputation, and that's what he did.
Well, he did indeed. And so, the winner of this match, in certainly no tones of question whatsoever, is indeed Dirty Dutch Mantell. Well, I think Mr. Mantell's attitude's pretty obvious.
You know, I was thinking about Dutch Mantell the other day, and I thought if I just had a dog that looked like Dutch Mantell, I'd shave his tail and make him walk backwards. I've seen him do some really rotten things to some guys. I just saw it right here on TV. He took it way past the limit, and I'm going to tell Dutch Mantell he better get off the bullet's back, because I ain't shooting no blanks. You may have to pay the hard way, because I am bad to the bone.
Well, let me ask you one further question. A lot of Thunderdomes still upcoming.
That's it, brother. A lot of heavy change, a lot of Thunderdomes happening. I know Dutch Mantell's going to be right in the middle of it, and I'm going to be right behind him. A lot of money to be won. People may get hurt, but for the money, it may be worth the price, Gordon.
All right, we're going to pause for a moment, then we'll listen to Cat Collins. Continental Championship Wrestling coming your way in Panama City at the Marina Civic Center, Saturday night, September 19th. Match time is 8 p.m., and there will be a Continental Heavyweight Championship match. The Nightmare Danny Davis facing Hot Property Wildcat Wendell Cooley. In a special challenge tag match, it'll be the Midnight Rockers and Rollers against Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden. In a Southeastern title match, the Bullet takes on Dirty Dutch Mantell. Doug Furnace goes up against the Dirty White Boy in a grudge match. It will be Tom Prichard against Mike Golden. Johnny Rich takes on Sir Jonathan Boyd. All of this action will take place in Panama City at the Marina Civic Center, Saturday night, September 19th. Match time is 8 p.m. Remember, the Continental Heavyweight Championship goes on the line. The Nightmare Danny Davis going up against Hot Property Wildcat Wendell Cooley. In a special challenge tag team match, the Midnight Rockers and Rollers face Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden. We'll see you in Panama City.
With me right now, the Southeastern heavyweight champion from Texas, Dirty Dutch Mantell. You and the Bullet going round and round here, Dutch.
Yeah, hey, okay, everybody hold it down in here. I ain't got time for a lot of nonsense out here. But you know, Bullet, talk is cheap, and you can do it all day long, but it don't accomplish nothing. But you see, my shirt today said, I'm going to shoot the Bullet. And, Bullet, you're going to bite it, Jack. You're going to bite it and go right down. Now, you got an Alabama belt. I don't really want it, but I would like to win it just to throw it off a bridge somewhere in a big old river and be done with it. Now, let me tell you another thing. Toxic waste. Toxic waste. You know what they do with it? Well, they put it way down underneath the ground. And, Bullet, you to me, you equal toxic waste. And Thunderdomes, baby, I'm going to come out on top, or some of my friends are. I guarantee that.
We'll be right back.
just before your lewd rejection.
At 10:30 here on TV 44.
For the United States Junior Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger from Florida, ladies and gentlemen, Larry Hamilton. And now the champion from Marietta, Georgia, 207 pounds, here is Scott Armstrong.
Scott Armstrong getting set now to defend his U.S. Junior Heavyweight Championship against the challenge of one Larry Hamilton. Let me give you some background on Hamilton in case you're not familiar with him. He's out of Jacksonville, Florida. He was a collegiate wrestler. He was a championship collegiate wrestler out of the University of Tampa in Tampa, Florida. Scott Armstrong, of course, second-generation competitor, offers his hand. Fine display of good sportsmanship. So Scott Armstrong, being a second-generation competitor, good clean break. Hamilton, of course, known for his collegiate background, collar and elbow, good fireman carry by Hamilton. Hamilton slips away from a head scissors. Scott Armstrong back on his feet very quickly, and once again offers his hand in a gesture of friendship. They lock up again, collar and elbow. Good wing-over takedown by Scott Armstrong on Larry Hamilton. Hamilton circling his foe, watches him carefully, moves in, locks up, caught in a side headlock now by Scott Armstrong. And Hamilton trying to turn that into a top wrist lock if he can, and so far succeeding. Scott Armstrong, beautiful, beautiful situation of power and strength here. And now Larry Hamilton redoubling his efforts. Fantastic moves, and it's Scott Armstrong getting the side headlock. Off the ropes. Shoulder smash puts Hamilton to the canvas. Hamilton catches him high, hip toss. Scott breaks it up into another wing over. Well, actually not a wing over on that one. That was a spin over. Both men approaching each other very, very cautiously. Once again, that display of sportsmanship. This is the kind of match I like to see. Two fine young athletes out there following the rule book, and that making the chore of the referee, Roy George, much easier. Bottom, sort of a bottom wrist lock, basically. Almost a bottom arm bar. Good, good move by Scott Armstrong. Dropped toe hold, moved in there very nicely. Then moved up on the body, got the side headlock. Scott Armstrong, U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion, defending his title now against Larry Hamilton. Good move again by Scott Armstrong into a hip lock takedown and keeps the side headlock. Scott, of course, was sidelined for about 10 months with an injury, but is back full force, has regained that U.S. Junior title. Up against those ropes, an Irish whip reversed by Scott Armstrong. Hamilton up and over his man and came down on that ankle and is hurt. Came down on the ankle, he's hurt, no question about that. Coming up very, very badly on an injured ankle. Came right down on that foot, totally incorrectly. Gamely coming back in the ring, and it is Armstrong giving him ample opportunity to move into the ring, and it is Hamilton hanging onto the ring ropes now. And Apparently the referee asked him if he wanted to continue, and apparently he did. No, it's the knee. I thought it was the ankle, but it's the knee, apparently. It's bothering him. Well, it looks to me like there's some immediate swelling. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, come on. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Hamilton obviously was not injured. Let's go back to the ring. Yeah, Hamilton was not injured. He has picked up that U.S. Junior Heavyweight Championship belt. He feigned an injury. Oh, bad behavior. And Hamilton now exploding on Scott Armstrong. Wait a minute, Hamilton going up on that top ring. Came down. Well, he may have really torn it up this time. And Scott Armstrong after him. Scott Armstrong, stung by a bit of deceitfulness here, gets a figure 4 on Larry Hamilton. He's got the figure 4 on Larry Hamilton, and he is paying back Hamilton, but nonetheless, the title now belongs to Larry Hamilton. Scott Armstrong may have the figure 4. The referee is down and obviously injured, but Larry Hamilton is the new U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion. And I'll tell you what, we've got a word coming up, and then we'll have another match. Continental Championship Wrestling on tour beginning Saturday, September 12th, 8:30 p.m. in Selma, Alabama at the Jemison Owen Gym at the Selma University, an outstanding night of wrestling competition. And then on Tuesday, September 15th at 7:30 at Hubertville, Alabama, the Hubertville High School football field. On Wednesday, September 16th, match time is 7:30 in Clanton, Alabama at the National Guard Armory. On Thursday, September 17th, Gadsden, Alabama at the Coliseum. And then Saturday, September 19th, Panama City, Florida at the Marina Civic Center. On Tuesday, September 22nd, 7:30 in Tuscumbia, Alabama, the Colbert Heights High School. And then Thursday, September 24th, Rockwood, Tennessee at the high school gymnasium. And also Continental Championship Wrestling coming soon to Oakland, Alabama, Greensboro, Alabama, and Carrollton, Alabama. And we'll see you Saturday, September 12th in Selma, Alabama, Jemison Owen Gym. Continental Championship Wrestling coming your way in Panama City at the Marina Civic Center Saturday night, September 19th. Match time is 8 p.m. And there will be a Continental Heavyweight Championship match. The Nightmare Danny Davis facing Hot Property Wildcat Wendell Cooley. In a special challenge tag match, it'll be the Midnight Rockers and Rollers against Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden. In a Southeastern title match, the Bullet takes on Dirty Dutch Mantell. Doug Furnace goes up against the Dirty White Boy in a grudge match. It will be Tom Prichard against Mike Golden. Johnny Rich takes on Sir Jonathan Boyd. All of this action will take place in Panama City at the Marina Civic Center Saturday night, September 19th. Match time is 8 p.m. Remember, the Continental Heavyweight Championship goes on the line. The Nightmare Danny Davis going up against Hot Property Wildcat Wendell Cooley. In a special challenge tag team match, the Midnight Rockers and Rollers face Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden. We'll see you in Panama City. Well, let me talk to these gentlemen about Panama City.
Well, I'll tell you what, Gordon, just next Saturday night, there's going to be an opportunity of a lifetime to take place for two punks that don't deserve a title match. They're going to get a chance to come to Panama City and to go against the cream of the crop, baby, myself and Jimmy Golden, right there in Panama City, and see if they have the ability to be able to just show a little class with us, because I can tell you something, gentlemen, you can just figure you ain't never going to have a chance at these belts if you don't show some class. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to let these gentlemen have some further comments, but right now I think these comments pay adherence.
Panama City, Party Town, USA. But first things first, tell them what's going to happen to old Rotten Property Wendell Cooley.
That's it. You know, the last time we were in Panama City, all the wrestling fans stuck around. They wanted to see me, get my hands on you, Wendell Cooley. What did you do? You showed your true colors. That's exactly right. You ran away. You ran to the dressing room because you're a coward. Not only are you a backbiter, you are a coward. So why don't you be a man? Come on, face me. You want to collect that bounty money. Well, the only way you can collect it is to get in the ring with me. Well, you're going to get your chance in Panama City.
And now for the Tennessee dud in this stable of geeks. You know, you say we don't deserve a title match. Well, you know, in our short career, we beat them all. And the only reason we hadn't beat you is because we hadn't got the chance.
To start with, Mr. Soler, you can forget the Wildcat. Just refer to me as hot property. And as far as you go, Danny Davis, I'm going to collect the rest of that bounty for the simple reason is I had to put my Continental title on the line to get you in the ring. The last time we was down there in Panama City, I beat you all over the building, son. And this time it ain't going to be no different because I got one thing on my mind when I get there, and that's collecting that bounty, and I'm going to do just that. That's right.
We'll find out. Panama City, Marina Civic Center. Davis is currently outside the ring in Cooley, going outside the ring to pick him up and continue punishing. But Davis is now returning it. Danny Davis punishing him. I'd like to remind you once again, wrestling Saturday, September 12th in Selma, Alabama. Tuesday the 15th in Hubertville, Alabama. Wednesday the 16th in Clanton, Alabama. Thursday the 17th in Gadsden, Alabama. Saturday the 19th, Panama City, Florida. And that'll be at the Marina Civic Center. Tuesday, September 22nd in Tuscumbia. And our time is rapidly running out on us. We'd certainly like to welcome all of the folks who are now viewing us in Tallahassee, Florida. Our thanks for joining in with us. And, well, the match continues now. Danny Davis and Wildcat Wendell Cooley. And until next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the fairgrounds in Birmingham, Alabama.